A very dangerous combination coming up next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. We've got the great Fran Duffy in for the in-person Snappies, but it's happening on a loopy Tuesday. What does that mean? We'll find out next. Join us. Hello, everybody! Live from the Xfinity studio and presented by Bet365 and Ashley. This is the PHLY Eagles podcast, the PHLY Eagles show, the PHLY Eagles gathering. Welcome. Join us. Fran Duffy to my left. Lindsay behind the scenes. I'm Bo Wulf. We're going to talk a lot about what happened in the game last night. Was it all pretty? Certainly not.
Sure as hell not.
But I'll tell you what, Fran.
How you feeling?
I spent the morning with Brandon Graham. I'm feeling good.
Cloud 9.
I think they're going to turn it around.
Wow.
Hey, why not?
We should call it it's like Cloud 55. Like, yeah, you spend some time with BG and all of a sudden you feel better. Why do you feel better? What's the number one thing coming out of that conversation that's like, you know what? Now I feel better about this whole thing.
I'll tell you why. Because after the Bears game, I wasn't sure the defense was up to the task of making up for the offense.
Right.
I think they are after watching what they did last night.
No question.
And the offense can't be worse. They were so bad in an I know they have been really bad.
I've been saying
but in that way, 5 turnovers.
Yes, right.
I mean, if they turn the ball over 3 times yesterday, they win the game.
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
And the Chargers are a pretty good team. That's a tough game to win. I know Herbert was banged up, and the offensive line is a disaster there.
Yep.
I don't know. They just got to get. I don't know. I think I have come to terms with this is not last year's team.
Of course.
It's not. It's never going to be the best team in the NFL.
Right.
But now you're in a situation where can they catch lightning in a bottle? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the big thing will be the human element of that. It's like
That's true.
Like, can everybody else detach?
Yeah.
And say like, all right, we need a reset point. Maybe if you win 3 straight, is that enough? Is that an elixir to say like, all right, like give you that positive momentum going into the postseason?
Well, and I think it's there for them. Listen, we don't have to tick off wins without them getting them. I think they should be able to beat the Raiders on Sunday. I think they should probably be able to beat the Commanders after that. If you win those 2 games, all of a sudden, okay, let's find out if we're for real. Yep. Then they have a real test at Buffalo. And even if they just play well in that game and they're competitive, there's probably a good chance they've clinched by then. They can rest week 18. You get these guys healthy. I don't know. You get in the dance, you get a dice roll. I don't know. It's fine.
Really is a loopy Tuesday.
Yeah.
I like the positivity.
I don't know.
Sure.
Why not?
You
want some more positivity?
Yeah.
Big day today in the PHLY Eagles family. We get to celebrate Lindsay's husband. Lindsay, tell us what happened today. Uh-oh. I caught her off guard. I'm sorry. It's a big day.
You always catch me off guard. Today, my husband won Teacher of the Year at his school.
Oh,
let's go!
That's awesome.
So we went and surprised him. He didn't know he was winning it, so we went with the kids and surprised him, and it was awesome.
Did he see you guys before it was announced, so that gave it away? Well, how did take us through?
He's a phys ed teacher, so he was in the gym with the class, and one of the principals had him go in the locker room to like check something for him. Okay. So then when he came back out of the locker room, we were all standing there, and he knows like they bring the family for whoever wins. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun.
That is awesome.
Did he cry?
No, he literally never cries.
Did anybody cry?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I think I would have cried.
You're about to cry for
now.
him. Just talking about it.
Yeah, I think that's great.
That's awesome.
Are you on board with the chat calling him Mr. Lindsay?
I am, but I don't think he will be.
Mr. Lindsay. All right. Well, congratulations to Mr. Lindsay. That's awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
Great stuff.
All right. See, we're bringing good vibes today.
Now to the film.
Now to the film. All right. Here's my question. As you see, the sort of the rundown of what we're going to go through today. We're going to bounce around a little bit. It's a loopy Tuesday. My question for you, off the top, I think we're going to focus on the passing game in this episode.
At least for the start, yeah.
Did the bones of the offense and the game plan look structurally any different to you, knowing that Nick Sirianni was more involved in the game planning process this week than it has for the first 13 weeks?
I would say the biggest area where I saw differences was first and second down. They were definitely more aggressive vertically down the field. I think there were more play concepts that were designed to attack the intermediate and vertical area. Now, that may have been scheme specific. It might have been, who knows? We'll see week 2 if that's the case. But, based off reporting from the weekend, obviously, there were some changes there in terms of process, maybe not in terms of the workflow on Monday night in terms of play calling, but in terms of what went into the game plan, the Nick Sirianni may have been more involved. And so, I thought that there was definitely more of a feeling of, hey, they're going to be aggressive down the field, design shot plays that are meant to attack past 10 yards. It wasn't just all hitches in this game. I texted Daniz on Tuesday morning, and I said, my guess is this will be the lowest rate of hitch routes in a game this season. And he was like, oh, be careful. It might, it might not be. And I was like, oh, I don't know. It felt like there was less of that, especially in the first and second down play calling.
That explains so much, because I was just sitting around earlier today and I got a text from the Daniz which just said, what is a hitch route?
Oh, right.
So now I understand where that was coming from.
Yeah, I mean, it's we know we have to explain these things to him. Right.
Okay, that's good. All right. And so do you want to take us through some of this, or you want to talk about it first?
I guess we can talk about it a little bit. I mean, I think that to me, the biggest thing that I found to be really interesting, because again, the Chargers have been good at eliminating those downfield throws and eliminating the explosive plays.
Right.
So the fact that they
also didn't really hit on any of these plays.
Well, that's the thing too, is that they hit on, there was some chunk plays, like some of those like AJ Brown, like 22-yarders are examples of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So the fact that they hit a couple, then for a variety of reasons, some of them they didn't hit on, and we'll get into that. But they kept going with it. So it wasn't like, oh, they got really conservative. Now, the third down game plan, like the wide receiver screens on like third and 9 and 3rd and 11, like throw those out.
Yeah.
But that's why, to me, like the big change for me was, oh wow, look at what they're doing on first and second down, in terms of just being more aggressive down the field.
I'm going to throw you for a loop because I have a specific question.
Okay.
The play that has been driving me nuts all morning, as I've thought about it, was 2nd and 11 from the Chargers 26 with 2:27 left. This is the ball that AJ Brown drops in the end zone.
Yep.
Right? And oh man, if he catches that ball, the Eagles win the game. But they don't necessarily win the game.
Yeah.
And from a game strategy standpoint, that play drove me nuts because the Chargers have one timeout left with 2:27. If the Eagles and listen, if you score a touchdown, fine. Of course, I'm not gonna complain about scoring a touchdown. But the touchdown is not the goal there. The goal on that possession at that point in the game, tie game, is go get a first down and you win the game, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? You get a first down, they call their timeout. Okay, you run the ball, goes to the 2-minute warning. You get 2 more runs, and the game is over, and you kick a field goal, and you win.
Yep.
So that play, did it look like it was designed for that, or is that a Jalen check?
Oh, can't answer that.
Okay.
With certainty. I'd have to go look. I did not notice anything on first watch that looked like a hand signal from Jalen, that they would change that.
Because that's what this offense has done sometimes.
Right.
Listen, I love the deep ball.
Yep.
But sometimes they go for the deep ball as the kill shot when it's not actually the kill shot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was the one earlier in the season when they went for it on fourth down, and like that they didn't need to do that.
Yep.
So that play's been driving me nuts.
There are also, I mean, that's the thing about those kinds of plays, and we've talked about it, is that they are low probability plays. And so even, it was late in the game. It was a third down. It was the final drive. It was the third down. Their answer against cover zero was like, we're just going to throw it up to AJ. And it's just like,
right.
And it's just like, like it didn't hit. And just like the previous one, like AJ, it goes through AJ's hands. You'd like for him to catch it, but like, am I going to kill him for dropping it? And like, it's not like a terrible drop. But those are low probability plays for a reason.
Yeah. Then they like, I don't even know what that call was on third down after the timeout. Like a screen with no blocking in front of it that's incomplete anyway. What was that?
They ran, was it 2 or 3 of those in the game? And they're from different formations.
Right.
So some of it, that one was 2x2. So it was literally one receiver blocking for Davante out in front. Those are like maybe potentially my least favorite play in all of football, potentially.
Worse than a shotgun same side run?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Oh, no.
So seeing a lot of those on third and 11, third and 9, that was painful.
All right, let's get into the snappies, and let's start with, you want to talk about some of the downfield passing, right?
I do.
So let's start with an incompletion to Devontae Smith that you think is emblematic of some of the stuff you saw.
Yeah. So second drive of the game, it's 1st and 20. This is after the Tyler Steen holding call on that quarterback draw.
Okay.
And this is a sail concept. And when you're looking here with a sail concept, for number one, it's a 3-level stretch concept where you see number one, you've got 12 personnel on the field. So you got 2 tight ends here to the boundary side. You're going to bring Devontae Smith in motion from right to left, and he's going to run the deep post route. Now, the sail route is going to come from the tight end position, and that is Dallas Goedert. The Eagles hit on this play, a very similar kind of concept, earlier this season against cover 4. And I remember breaking it down. This is exactly what you want, and they run it perfectly here. Where you're going, because what you have to do when you're playing cover 4, if you've got the split safety look, and if you're trying to run this post route towards the middle of the field, you have to account for this safety and you have to account for this safety. And so the Eagles do that with a couple of routes. Number one, you're going to get A.J. Brown from the field side attacking vertically. He's going to hold the eyes of this safety and hold him there in the middle of the field. And then you're going to get the sail route from Dallas Goedert, where he's going to work up the hash mark and then break out towards the sideline. He has to get to a certain depth, and if he does that, he is going to hold the boundary safety. And what that does is it creates a wide open void in the deep middle of the field for Jalen to be able to lay this out for Devontae. So as the routes kind of develop here, this is perfect. This is exactly what Jalen wants. The safety is holding on Goddard. The backside safety is holding on AJ. All kinds of real estate out here to lay this out for Devontae Smith out in front, middle of the field. If you're going to miss, you want to miss as far right as possible. But unfortunately, he lets this go. You can see this is where Jalen's letting this go. Plenty of room to operate. And he puts this about here. It lands just below the S. And so it's too far on the outside, I guess the inside of the route for Devontae, and it ends up falling incomplete. Now we go to a little bit later in the drive. This was a couple of plays later here. This was 4 plays later after the incompletion of Devontae. They dial up something similar again. And again, it was a recurring theme. I'm like, oh, okay, this is something else. They dial up. This time they're in empty. And
oof, man. They were in empty so much last night, and it was bad.
The empty numbers were very, very bad. And we'll get into a few different things there. But they get into empty, and what they're going to do is they're going to bring Devontae Smith in motion here into a late stack, which is something we have not seen from the Eagles very often. But they're going to bring him in motion, and he is going to be the primary here on this play. The Eagles, going back to like Andy Reid, like Deshaun Jackson would hit on this play, different versions of this play, where basically you're going to get A.J. Brown running like a curl route here, and that's designed to hold this corner on that side. You're going to get Devontae running a through route, a deep vertical route across the middle of the field. That's what you're hoping, that this safety is taken away, this corner rather is taken away so that he can't get under this route from Devontae Smith. You're also going to get a route over the ball from Dallas Goedert. Again, you're hoping that's going to keep anybody here in the middle of the field. And then you're going to get another backside post here from Darius Cooper. That, to me, is the second read on this play. So Jalen...
Primary for me, but...
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. But so you've got Dallas over the ball. You've got A.J. Brown here at the bottom of the screen to the boundary. Here comes Devontae Smith on the through route. He's going to cross the face of the safety. And then if that's taken away, you don't like that? All right, well, now you've got Darius Cooper here on the backside post. So that, to me, is what the read should be. And again, everything is flowing from right to left here on this play. All right, you've got this route from AJ. You've got Dallas running that way. You've got Devontae. You've got Cooper. Everybody's flowing this way. Jalen steps up. He hits the top of his drop. There's a little bit of pressure here. Not enough to me for him to bail, but you can already see he's stepping up and ready to eject. And he starts rolling to his right. He's rolling away from the flow of the play. And now he starts immediately calling for Cooper to uncover. It becomes scramble drill. But you had Devontae. Devontae's streaking open. Obviously, AJ's over there. Dallas is over there. His momentum is already carried it this way across the field, so it's a lot for him to kind of uncover. This becomes a one receiver route essentially in the scramble drill, and it ends up being I think it was like a 2-yard scramble for Jalen on that play. So 2 plays on that drive designed to go to Devontae. One is just a bad ball, and the other was a turn down that you could say like, all right, pressure had something to do with it. But on that drive, I thought that was kind of interesting to see that show up. But there were a handful throughout the course of the day. I've got more. I want to give myself a little bit of a breather.
Let's get some more. We'll give you that breather. We'll give everybody else a breather. Take a quick break to hear from some sponsors. Much more coming with the professor, the other professor, Fran Duffy. On the other side. Yeah, you got numbers too. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide, and they live stream over 780,000 events each year with early payout offers across the NBA and NHL. And it's a Tuesday, which means it's time for an NBA Tip-Off Tuesday, where you can place a qualifying same-game parlay bet with the Safety Net Bet feature on Tuesday NBA games, and that gets you up to $10 in bonus bets if the bet loses. Terms and conditions apply. All you have to do is download the app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And the breaking news is that new customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you are someone who has a gambling problem, what's up, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Sometimes we get these scripts from the ads that we're going to read, and Aura hit me right between the eyes with this one. Here's what it says, and it's exactly right. Here's my holiday pattern. Tell myself I'll be thoughtful. Panic at the last minute. Buy a gift card. This year, I skipped the panic and gave an Aura frame. Now, the gift card, not always my fallback, but there is panic at the end. And I didn't have to panic this year because of our good friends at Aura. What is Aura? Aura is a gift that allows you to have unlimited free photos and videos in the frame. Just download the Aura app and connect it to Wi-Fi. You can preload the photos before it ships, personalize your gift, and it comes with a beautiful gift box. So, for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off your Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using the promo code PHLY at checkout. That's AURAframes.com with promo code PHLY. Terms and conditions apply. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, Bo Wulf and the ProFRANsor, Fran Duffy. What do you think?
Workshop it.
I mean, could be
standards.
worse.
The standards. The standard.
Could be worse. Yeah.
It could be worse.
All right. Let's talk about a couple good plays from the downfield design here. And if we're thinking, okay, maybe they're just tweaking this offense a little bit. Maybe this is a little bit what it's going to look like more moving forward. This is what it could look like in a good version of it.
Yeah, and that's to me the thing that stood out was that there were plays to be made. There were plays where it looked like, all right, you know what? Honestly, those were 2 of them, right? Where the post was there to Devontae, like that guy, and we've seen Jalen, hook up on that play with Devontae here this season, and that one was it was an errant throw, and then the second one was more of a scramble drill, and it just didn't work. Now, again, they had some other plays here in this game where I'm like, okay, like I see what we're going for here. And I kind of dig it. I like because we haven't really seen it so far this season. This is a good example here where, again, you're going to get Devontae Smith coming in motion where he's going to now serve as eye candy in the backfield where you're going to get jet action. You've got Jahan Dotson. He's going to run a clear out route. You've got Dallas Goedert running to the flat. This play, though, is designed to go to Saquon Barkley on a wheel route down the right sideline. So again, you're getting a post wheel combination. You got flat control. We haven't seen a lot of these kind of vertical elements on display in this offense this season, where again, you're trying to attack. Essentially, the Chargers are in cover 3. They're playing cover 3 zone coverage. We know the Chargers were a big time zone defense coming in. So they dial up these concepts to attack the various forms of zone. What you're hoping here, if you're Nick Sirianni, if you're Jalen Hurts, is that this route from Jahan Dotson takes this cornerback towards the vertical part of the field, and now you've got Saquon running into the void. That's what you're hoping. Now, they do a great job here, the Chargers, and they're all over it. This corner, he does a good job of reading this, and that takes the scramble, that takes the throw away from Jalen Hurts. Jalen does not force this ball to Saquon, and instead, it's a good scramble. He ends up scrambling for 9 yards. So that's the thing, is when we're watching on TV, and it's like, again, he doesn't look confident with what he's seeing. It's another scramble. That's a good scramble. That was a good decision on Jalen's part. You go to a little bit later. This is actually the first play of the third quarter. They come out and they run. It's another sail concept, another 3-level stretch concept. This one goes to A.J. Brown. Gets me a swooper point here off of under center play action.
No wonder you're in such a good mood, by the way.
What's that?
No wonder you're in such a good mood.
I wouldn't go that far. You got Jalen Hurts under center. You got heavy personnel on the field. You got a condensed formation, so it's a run look. You're running Devontae Smith vertically down the field. A.J. Brown clears the first level. He's going to work towards the sideline. 3-level stretch concept. Boom, boom. There's the flat. So now you're stretching. You got the vertical, or you have the outside corner. He's taken down the field. The flat defender, he's occupied by Dallas Goedert. And now you've got a huge void here for A.J. Brown to be able to work through. And Jalen's able to layer this throw up and over for a catch. So again, like it's just time and time again, it wasn't just, it's 2nd and 8. It's got all hitches, right? It's 2nd and 8. It's slant flat again.
That is such a basic route concept.
Yeah.
And yet, I cannot remember a single other time this year where AJ has been targeted in that fashion.
There haven't been a ton of them,
right?
There haven't been. No, and that's to me, like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, like that was a difference. There was a different feel watching it this morning from that standpoint. I'm like, okay, like there were aggressive calls consistently throughout the course of the game, and even like, like I was ragging on the screens, the third down wide receiver screens. Well, they threw a screen like a pump and go, where this is Lindsay, if you want to take a look, this is one where you've got Devontae Smith as number 3. He's going to run the bubble screen. And Jalen Hurts is going to pump the bubble. He's going to pretend he's throwing this to Devontae Smith. You're trying to get everybody flowing down here. You're running a receiver vertically down the field, Darius Cooper. I got to think this was the most snaps Cooper's played all season. I would think so. He was out in the field a lot. And then you're trying to leak Dallas Goedert outside. And again, you're hoping that Dante Jackson runs vertically with this play. And so it's another concept where they are trying to target zone defenders. Like it's not just ISO ball where it's like, all right, you have a deep curl and you have another route over the ball and there's a vertical route. Like these are the types of concepts where I'm like, yeah, like, okay, I see what the plan was here. I get what the idea was here on this play. Now, the problem on this drop back, Jalen hits the top and this play is going to be open. He's going to have Dallas Goedert here. But look at Jalen. He slipped when he hit the top of his drop. So he trips. He probably honestly still had it because he catches his balance and steps up, and he probably still has Dallas Goedert here on this one. But I think he was just a little bit queasy, didn't really want to try and make this throw. Dante Jackson was lurking a little bit, so he waited and waited and waited. He ended up throwing it and ended up being incomplete along the sideline. But again, there's just to me, like, that's the last one here from this one, Lindsay. There were a lot of examples of them being aggressive and purposeful with what their route concepts were attacking down the field. They just didn't capitalize on enough of them.
Second most snaps in a game this season for Darius Cooper, but the first was in the Giants blowout win, so he got a few at the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I looked at it and I was like, did he outsnap Dotson? And he did not. Dotson had more, but I think Dotson had a lot of them at the end. I think Dotson was out there, and I think there was one where they like went tempo and.
Told you by the end of the season he's going to be the number 3 receiver.
He might be. Might be.
I wouldn't even. I'm not going to put a ceiling on it either.
Well, how can you?
Yeah. Listen, this is part of why I'm squinting and feeling some optimism, because I don't know. Jalen's not going to play that bad. I mean, he's not going to slip He's not going to throw 4 interceptions. If they're attacking downfield more, that's better process. I don't know. I don't have any reasonable expectation that they're even going to be an above average offense. I just need them to be like the 3rd quartile instead of the last quartile.
Sure. Well, here's my concern.
Okay.
4 interceptions last night. Does that say like, oh, nope, dial it back. We're not going to be as aggressive.
Well, that is a very reasonable concern.
That's the concern for me. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's a fair point.
That's the concern for me.
It's a fair point. I don't know. They're getting Lane back. I don't know.
Getting Lane back, yeah. And that'll help, especially in the run game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred Johnson didn't have a good day in the run game again. But, yeah. Should we go back, take a look at some quick game stuff?
Yeah, let's look at some quick game stuff. Then that was less encouraging. And you're not even calling this stuff encouraging, but this is even worse.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about the amount of empty, and I haven't looked at the numbers. My guess is the empty numbers aren't good.
I can tell you the empty numbers.
Okay, let's hear it.
First of all, 16 snaps out of empty in this game.
Yeah. Which
is the most in the Sirianni era.
Okay.
So let's start there and tell me if you think there was anything that the Chargers were doing defensively that would have made that game plan.
So some of the good things about going in empty, all right? You can get coverage tells where you say, all right, you have Saquon Barkley lined up far out wide. Is a corner across from him, or is it a linebacker or safety? That could tell you if it's man or zone. So if you have a defense that likes to disguise coverage, that's a good way to be able to, to get that get information to the quarterback. You also, if it's a team that likes to disguise coverage, let's say they like to show too high. Hey, it looks like it could be cover 2, but they actually rotate and it's cover 1 man, or the opposite where it looks like it's going to be man. If you are empty and you are in a 5-man protection because there's nobody in the backfield, there's no tight end in the backfield or running back in the backfield to help out with protection, the quarterback typically is going to get rid of the ball faster. And so if the quarterback's going to get rid of the ball faster, as a defense, you can't disguise coverage because you don't want guys having to run to get to their spot when the ball's already getting out. So defenses are much more likely to say, like, all right, play what we're going to play the down. Don't disguise ourselves out of coverage because they're lining up in empty. So typically the ball's coming out fast. You're trying to get more information on the quarterback. If you have a quarterback who's a run threat, that can obviously be a factor as well. Was not in this game. Yeah, I would say those are some of the biggest things that you can get from empty. The fact that they went and did it, I was like, oh, okay. And I saw what they were doing on a handful of them. But again, they were not able to hit on a number of these plays. Okay, and then so in terms of how efficient they were, how effective they were in empty in this game. 16 plays, which is a good chunk. 16 plays is a good chunk. It was their second worst EPA per play of the season, but it's actually really the worst because the worst is just the Packers game when they had 1 play and it was a bad play. The success rate was bad, but it was like 37.5%, and their success rate for the game itself was 33%, their worst of the season, but on par with it. Their success rate was 33.5%? In the game. Crazy, right? Man. But here's my concern with the empty yesterday. Okay. 16 plays. Yep. We know that what has worked for the Eagles out of empty before is the fact that it is a bit of a cheat code for them because Jalen is willing to run. Yep. They had 1 designed run play on those 16 plays yesterday. 1 came back for penalty. 1 came back for penalty. So that would be 2 out of 17. Out of 17. And I actually haven't watched that play. So when I make my first run through the film, penalties are taken out. So I actually haven't gotten a chance to watch that back. My guess is that, like, I know Steen got flagged. I think that's a Jalen penalty, just by the nature of that. Him basically running outside when he shouldn't have. But I want to go back and watch the end zone copy of that. That was my first blush after watching that live last night. I've sort of come around on, we know that, like, the last couple of weeks in the production meetings, it's clearly been said to the broadcast teams, like, oh, like, Jalen's going to get more involved in the running game, and, like, that's really what's missing from this offense. I don't need Jalen to be involved in the running game right now. I need him to scramble more and more effectively. I think that is a real issue, and I think that's where he can bring something else to the table. But the Jalen running game stuff doesn't look good right now. I don't know. I don't know what that's. In theory, if you do it a little bit better, then maybe that's taking some attention away from Saquon, and that opens up the running game in general. But to me, that's like
they're using old solutions, and it's not the right solution right now.
I think that there's also something to be said for the fact that it's not an on-off switch thing.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to like just say like, okay, we're going to be a QB run team now and get Jalen back into the rhythm of following blocks on QB counter and getting through the mesh points of like all the different read option elements. Yeah, I think that there's probably something to that as well.
That reminds me of another play that drove me crazy yesterday, which we texted about in real time.
The fake draw.
The fake draw.
Yeah.
Because I love the fake draw. What a good idea. We're so obvious with the draw sometimes. Let's do a fake draw. But then they showed the route concepts, and the whole idea of a fake draw is that you're going to draw the linebackers up, and there was nothing in the middle of the field. There was nothing designed to take advantage of the space that was being vacated.
They ran that play. I said this to Cuz this morning. They ran that play for a touchdown. Was that the Colts game in 2021?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
I think they ran, and it was like perfect. It was beautiful.
22, maybe?
22, maybe
'Cause 22 was the Colts game. Yeah,
okay, so it was beautiful. And that's another one where it's like, oh, like in that part of the field, that was a little bit close. It was like 10-yard line. This one was a little bit further away. So like the distance like quite didn't like match up with the two. Yeah, I was with you. That one didn't move me.
Okay. Anything else on the quick game before we get to the next break?
I have a lot of things in the quick game.
You want to do it now or you want to do it after the break?
Let's do. All right, here's what we'll do. We'll do the quick game stuff or the opening drive.
Opening drive.
Two plays from the opening drive. And then we got some man coverage stuff on the back end of that.
Great.
Okay.
Good tease.
All right, opening drive. First play. Practice this all week. You should feel great about this, right? This you should feel great about this from the jump. Come out and empty. You got Saquon here on the bottom of the screen. He's going to come in motion over to the other side. You're going to motion to a 4x1 kind of look here. And what that gives for Jalen is like, all right, I've got A.J. Brown running a slant, ISO, one-on-one. The defense is going to react because you've got Saquon going across the formation to a 4x1. We're going to get all this action over this way. And now we've got a matchup that we want where you've got now AJ one-on-one. Well, it didn't really play that way where they're playing cover 4. And essentially, this becomes double coverage on AJ in the slant. You've got the safety keying in on the slant. You got the corner playing with outside leverage. So Jalen, he wants to throw this to AJ, but it's essentially double coverage. It's quarters coverage. He's not throwing it. But this is the same thing, Bo, that we have talked about on the show time and time again with these quick game concepts. If you are not super sharp with your timing in the quick game, by the time you get your eyes back over to the other side, the other stuff is done. It's dead. Yeah. So they are running a concept. I'm going to bring this back really quick. They're running a concept where you've got a corner. You've got two snag routes here on the other side where those guys are going to turn. It's almost like hitches where it's like a slant and hitch kind of deal. And you've got Saquon to the flat. If you don't throw the corner with timing, that's gone. If you don't throw these routes as soon as those guys turn, that's not happening. You can see Jalen he's got his eyes over there, but his feet aren't there yet. Yeah. He's not ready to throw. And if you don't throw this right away, the corner's going to crash on it. So by the time he does get his feet over, that's gone. That's smothered. These guys take that route away. You're not going there. So now it becomes scramble drill. First play of the game. Yeah. Disaster. Yeah. Fire drill right away. So now you've got AJ, and he's like, all right, well, I got turned. So now I'm going to turn around. And he ends up throwing this, and
right. And he stutters at one point, and if he goes full, it's probably a catch. But yeah,
it's a scramble drill situation. Sorry, Lindsay. So that's first play of the game, automatic fire drill. So now we've got third down, drive ends on a sack. There's a couple third downs later. Thank you, Lindsay. So third down. We talked last week about all right. What is the Chargers' identity on third down? They like to do the 4-man rushes, but it's exchange pressures, and they're going to show blitz. They're going to bring guys up on the line of scrimmage. You don't know who's coming. But they like to they're going to send 4, and sometimes they might play man coverage out of this. Sometimes it might be some kind of a zone. So they come out. Eagles are in empty cover or in an empty set, and you've got in-breaking routes. You got an in-breaking route from Goddard where he's going to just turn, he's going to look at the ball. You've got Jahan Dotson where he's going to run. Basically, it's like a hitch route. Tank Bigsby on third down, running a little hitch route just at the sticks. And then you've got a wrap concept here where you've got Devontae working a hitch with AJ behind it. Now, this is a classic one high side versus two high sides. Sometimes we say, oh, it's man cover. If it's man, you go over here. If it's zone, you go over here. This one, if it's going to be one high, which one high safety.
Yeah.
All right, now you're working this side of the field. If this were a two high look, now you're going to work this side of the field. And this concept works great against cover two. This is one of the Eagles' good cover two beaters, is you're going to get A.J. Brown running that in cut. But if you're going to run this against one high, this ball should have gone to Tank Bigsby all day. If Jalen's not going to throw, and we've talked about this in the past, he doesn't throw it to guys if he doesn't have trust in them. Don't put Tank Bigsby out there on third down if you're not going to throw it to him.
Yeah.
Don't put him out there and have him be a primary read in a concept if you're not going to throw it to him. And they're like, all right, well, he doesn't want to throw that. All right, well, you keep working. Jahan Dotson doesn't win quick enough, so he gets off that. Goddard's taken away. He gets his eyes all the way back around to work the two high side. Well, this doesn't work because you got, instead of it being two high safeties, it's one high, which means you have an extra defender underneath.
Yeah.
That play's not going to work for A.J. Brown. So now Jalen's got nowhere to go. This is a bad read from Jalen. This is bad execution. And this ends up being a sack. The Chargers ran a play where it was, we actually broke it down on the pregame show where it was like, oh, they try and get Oweh the two-way go, and Oweh works against
Oweh two-way.
I actually wrote that in my notes and thought, oh, that's a nice little nickname. He ends up beating my Lotta late, but that's a Jalen Hurts sack. So that's bad execution from the quarterback there on that one. But that's also like, it's the opening drive. It's the first. I guess it was the second or third.
This is what
third
we worked
down.
all week on. We had extra time.
Like how does that? Like if the quarterback's not comfortable with that, if he doesn't want to throw to Tank Bigsby, if that should be Shipley, then that's what that should be. Like the third down game plan. That definitely left me wanting here this week.
All right, good stuff. Great breakdown. Back with more on the PHLY Eagles podcast. It's the holiday season, which is the season for spending money. I know, you got the gifts, you got the travel, all this stuff going on. How do you keep track of it all? How do you make sure that you're not overspending? Well, I'll tell you how. You use Monarch, and right now, our listeners can get 50% off your first year at Monarch. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. So if you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. It does the heavy lifting, links to all your accounts in minutes, and gets clear data visuals, smart categorization of your spending, and real control over your money. We promise you will never have to touch a spreadsheet again. Here's the deal. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code PHLY at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code PHLY. I was doing the show with Cuz this morning, and I'm sitting here. I'm here. Cuz is here. BG's there. And on the other side is Handsome Rich. And so I'm staring at Handsome Rich. And I'm like, ooh, Rich is looking good this morning. And you know what he told me? He told me before the show, or right afterwards, he said, this is Mack Weldon. It is my favorite piece of clothing that I own. That is true, and it's correct, because Mack Weldon has high-quality clothes for you to wear at a reasonable price. We love our friends at Mack Weldon. From the gym to work to a night out or summer adventures, you want clothes that feel comfortable anywhere. That's where Mack Weldon comes in. Breathable, fashionable, nothing better. So go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code PHLY. That's MackWeldon.com, promo code PHLY. Back in the PHLY Eagles podcast. I'm wearing a nice hoodie, by the way, PHLY hoodie. Check out all that we've got at the PHLY store. You're wearing one as well.
Yep. Good
stuff for the holiday season. And become a diehard. Get access to Fran's draft database. Nothing better. Plus, EJ Smith and Les Bowen have columns up this morning, so you're going to get covered from all angles. Let's check out the Soupies. What do we got on the Super Chat front? We start with Frank Baba, not to be confused with Brutus the Barber. Says, I don't want to talk about this team. I can't imagine how much the PHLY guys don't want to do this.
I love doing this.
What else would you like to talk about?
Nothing. Who's got it better than us?
Yeah, nobody. Frank Barber again says, what would surprise you more, Fran? The Eagles go 2-2 over the last 4 games, or they go 0-4.
Ooh.
I think 0-4 would
0-4 would surprise me more. Yeah, 0-4 would surprise me more. Like, would I be? Now we could do like turkey. How like layers?
That's the
of
thing
surprise.
is, the reason I feel a little bit of optimism is because I feel like everybody else is now catching up to where I was last week.
Right. Still gaining.
I mean, we are the two people who did think they were going to lose this game.
We are the only ones who predicted that. Yeah.
So I was already there.
Yes.
Now let's see what they do.
I want to say more than any other game this year, and it might have been because of my swooper self-scouting, where I was like, I'm too over-indexed on this offense. I've been too high on them all season. I've been waiting for them to dig out of this. My read on this game and how it was going to play out was like it's exactly how I thought it would. Big flex.
You thought that Jalen Hurts was going to have 5 turnovers?
No, I thought that the offense was going to struggle. I didn't think it was going to be turnovers. I thought more 3 and outs.
How do you feel about us continuing to say 5 turnovers when 2 of them happen in the same play? Do you think it's unfair to throw 5 on him?
Yeah, I think so, personally.
I mean, it's not like they got an extra possession.
Correct, yes.
They got 5 extra possessions.
I agree with that.
However, I think it is, and that's where I was originally, but I do think it is fair to say, hey, Jalen, fall on the ball.
Yeah.
Like,
that's country fumble.
What are you doing?
Their city fumble. Yeah. I agree with that.
Get down, dude. I got a gift.
Yeah.
Spit it right back. Will Madden, how has Steen played this year? How much better was Mekhi Becton last year?
Mekhi was much better in the run game. I think Steen is more even in pass protection. Steen has been okay overall. Not good, but he hasn't been terrible. I didn't think he was particularly good last night, but he's definitely, I mean, he is like a tier below in the run game for sure. No question.
Okay. Fair breakdown. CDP, will Howie restructure Jalen Hurts' deal this offseason?
Will Jalen Hurts want to restructure his deal this offseason?
I think we're going to have a lot of conversations about what this offseason might look like, depending on how these Final Four games go. Yeah. SRG. Fran's grabbies are probably the best part of the show during the season because he does such a great job breaking down the game. But, man, is it a tough watch this year. LOL.
Tell me about it. I would love to be here, like saying, like, oh, look at this touchdown, look at this, look at that. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and that's what it is.
Scott Galupo. Here's my big takeaway from last night's game. Pitchers and catchers report in 2 months.
Schwarber surprise you?
No.
Yeah.
Surprise you?
I mean, relief. I was
deal.
very relieved. Yeah, big deal.
5 or 150.
Yeah, but I was happy to see it for sure.
Yeah. As the wise people say, not my money.
No question.
Yeah. Finally, Musa. Bo is huffing positivity rabbit gas. You and I have not had a chance to talk about the positivity rabbit.
Is it positivity rabbit or is it positivity bunny?
I mean, it's not. It's nothing. And this is my problem with the whole deal. Who is A.J. Dillon to foist this upon everybody else to now become memed? Like, this is not a leader of the team being like, oh, yeah, we could use a little break here. This is a guy who has been inactive for half the season, and from all our vantage points is the next guy to be released if they need to open up a roster spot. And it's darkly funny that he's sitting there being like, how can I contribute? How can I contribute? I'm going to get this blow-up bunny, and it's going to be the only thing that people remember about me in this season.
You know, that's what that reminds me of. It happened about a week after you and I met.
Vince Young Dream Team.
Vince Young Dream Team. It's what he'll most be known for.
I mean, at least Vince Young played.
Little known fact. I was the one who shot that press conference.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was my first year working with the Eagles, and I was working a press conference camera, and the Vince Young Dream Team press conference.
Nice.
Little did I know, I was sitting there, I was like, oh man, this is like a legendary moment in Eagles history.
My other favorite press conference from that training camp memory is Nnamdi's press conference, and Scott Hansen happened to be there
that
day.
Right.
And the way that in the middle of the press conference, you're just like, Nnamdi, Scott Hansen, NFL Network, how are you, buddy? And then getting to the question, like really making sure you get that in there.
It was a good
I'll never
one.
forget that.
I don't know if does he even do training camp tours anymore? Scott Hansen?
I don't think so. Yeah.
I
don't know if he leaves that room.
Yeah, right.
I think he lives there.
Might be right.
Yeah. Must be nice. All right. Tell me about the issues with man coverage.
Well, this was another game. We talked about this last week, how the numbers against man-to-man coverage were not good for Jalen Hurts. And any other time that he has faced a high volume of man, the Eagles have won. He's usually been really good. Last week against the Bears was not the case. And this week, once again, now I haven't pulled the numbers. I don't know what the ratio was in terms of man-to-man versus zone. All I can tell you is that the Chargers have been a high-volume zone team over the course of this season. Well, I think there was like third most zone of anybody in the league. Thank you. Third most zone of anybody in the league. And in this game, I noticed a lot of man, where they felt comfortable saying like, yeah, we're gonna go man to man. And we talked about how they do a good job of preventing explosive plays and taking it, but that's not because they've got great man-to-man cover corners. This is a more like the unit is, the sum is greater than, or the whole is greater than the sum of the parts type of secondary, where like they've got Derwin James, who's a really good player, great player. But the guys in the secondary, like, it's Cam Hart, and it's Tarheeb Still, and it's Dante Jackson, and it's Benjamin St. Juice. Like, nice player, decent players, but not like, oh, we're gonna play man to man, and you are not gonna be able to throw on us. And the fact that they felt comfortable playing as much man as they did for the second team in a row to do that, it's a little telling and it's a little alarming, because to me that says that defensive coordinators and defenses are like, okay, we're going to dare Jalen Hurts to make these throws, whereas that was, and also take off and scramble, which it's the second week in a row where teams have done it and have had success, and the Eagles have not been able to make them pay for that on the back end.
So according to True Media, and this is early,
yeah,
it was 17% man.
Okay.
From the Chargers, which is only the 10th highest of the 13 teams who have played the Eagles this season, but it is above average for them.
They
played
is
their fifth highest of the season. They play usually about 12, 13%.
Okay, so all right, so it's not as high as I would have thought, but still relatively high. Now that said, again, like the Eagles, this is something in the past where you're like, oh, if you play man against the Eagles, like Jalen Hurts is going to make you pay.
Right.
And there's a play early on. This is a third, and I've got the number here. This was a third down early in the game, where basically it looks like it's going to be a too high coverage here at the snap of the ball. And so it's like, all right, well, what coverage are the Eagles going to get here on this play? And it ends up being two-man, where you've got two high safeties operating in the deep part of the field, and it is straight man-to-man across the board. And not only is it straight man-to-man, but it's going up against it. This is like the pet peeve. This is straight ISO ball, baby. You've got
none of these routes are not working together at all.
You've got a deep curl route. You've got a deep curl route. You've got another curl route. You've got Dotson working down the seam a little bit. So none of these routes. This goes against what we talked about earlier. And again, that's why I thought it was really interesting, Bo, because the conceptually. And we've talked about this when coaching staffs, the Eagles are one of them, will say like, all right, this coach, you're in charge of this part of the game plan.
Yeah.
This coach, you're in charge. The first and second down game plan was much different than what the third down game plan has been. And when I'm looking at this, it's third and long. We're doing straight ISO ball. This is much different than a lot of the concepts that we were breaking down earlier. Where it's like, oh, it's a post wheel, and you've got floods and 3-level stretches, and you have all this. This is straight ISO. Look, if you're Jalen here on this play, and this is not a great ball. But he also didn't have anywhere to go with this. Like when he drops back to make this, he has got to get this, because you can see all these corners, they're playing underneath. They're playing in trail. And the reason why is because you've got these deep safeties over top. So you can be very aggressive. You can be very handsy. You can trail and play underneath. So now if you're the quarterback, you kind of have to layer this up and over the underneath defender.
Right, but not too much for those guys.
Not too much for the safety to patrol this. So it's a tough throw. And if your guys don't win, you really have nowhere to go. So yeah, he overthrows this. There's the target. He overthrows this, and Mickens ends up coming with the interception. So come back a couple drives later. They're down in the red zone. This is the play that lost EJ a swooper point, and we can all celebrate now that his goal to go swooper point is now gone.
And you told me before the show this was the worst play of the game.
This was the
worst miss for Jalen.
Miss for Jalen in the game. Because again, they showed they're going to play. They could play two-man, against us on third down. So what do you get before the snap of the ball? Again, the Eagles are an empty. You got 2 high safeties. It looks like it's going to be 2-man. And I know Dana has said this numerous times in the past, like, oh, they don't have anything dialed up to beat man. Like, where are all the man coverage beaters? They dial up a really nice man coverage beater here on this play, where you've got Dallas Goedert working vertically, you've got Devontae Smith running a slant right underneath it, and the defense is playing 2-man. You've got 2 high safeties. You've got straight man-to-man underneath. So this should work perfectly.
Middle of the field already looks wide open.
Yep. Jalen is going to start looking over here. Want to make sure you hold that safety right where he's at. And you want to make sure that void is wide open there in the middle of the field. He gets his eyes back. Perfect timing. Here comes Devontae. Off the slant.
No pressure at the moment.
His guy is picked off on the natural rub play. Wide open, man. And he doesn't throw it. This is like a killer. This was honestly like maybe the most upsetting turn down from the season.
Oh, God.
Middle of the field, wide open, 2-man. That was it.
The design of the play.
Yep. And
no pressure in his face.
Yep. You had a 3-man rush from the Chargers here. So you had a 3-man rush with a spy, which is what they did on the last one too. So, all right, we're going to play man-to-man coverage. We're going to spy Jalen Hurts just in case he does want to take off. But we're going to force him to stay here and throw it and beat us with his arm. And he doesn't do it here on this play. And the other part of it,
what do you think?
Is that he steps up and he starts working to his left. But again, Devontae's working this way.
Yeah.
Dallas, after running that little pick, he starts working this way. Dotson, he works outside, and then he starts. So all these routes are designed to come back towards this part of the field, and he's going this way. So he's working again against the flow of the defense, against the flow of the rest of the pass catchers. Now he's forced to throw across his body to Devontae in the back of the end zone, and it's very nearly a sack fumble.
Yeah.
Henley gets to him just as he's throwing. It ends up being called an incompletion.
We did get to see Brett Toth moving on this play, though. I mean, boy, was he flying
him the ball.
With the ball.
Yeah. Does not count as it did occur to me that it almost counted as an offensive line target.
Yeah.
And EJ would have got a point on that one.
Do you have any idea why he doesn't throw that ball?
No.
Do you think there is any residual trauma from the interception of Deshaun hand dropping, that he's worried that there's a guy dropping into that area that he doesn't know?
Yeah, could be. It could be.
I don't know.
It could be.
It's after that.
Yeah, that's one of those. Like I couldn't tell you why he doesn't throw. That one was the toughest turn down of the day.
All right, I think everybody needs a little break to process that one. So let's take our last break here on the PHLY Eagles podcast. We will try to move on from the passing game on the other side. Listen, you've heard me talk about Game Time before. It is the only ticketing app I use to get tickets in Philadelphia because I'm here, I'm local, I can wait until the last minute. And I know that at Game Time, it's going to update and those prices are going to drop. And that's why I'm looking forward to the World Cup, because I know that it gets close to game time. The best prices I'm going to be able to get are going to be on Game Time for the World Cup. You can track the price drops in real time, get alerts when seats open up, and grab tickets the moment they hit the app, all backed by the Game Time guarantee. So here's what I'm telling you. If you're a soccer fan, you're looking forward to the summer, get Game Time and take the guesswork out of buying soccer tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code PHLY for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917. That's right. The same year that Jackson Hawes was born is the same year that Omaha Steaks became America's original butcher. And what do they have? They've got the best high-quality meat in the country. Right now, it's the perfect time to stock up with exceptional handcrafted flavor and the convenience of Omaha Steaks. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef that has more marbling for exceptional flavor and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. So get fired up for grilling with Omaha Steaks by visiting omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code EAGLES at checkout. That's 50% off. omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code EAGLES at checkout. See site for details. I mean, impeccable timing. Nicely done. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Do we have to talk about anything more in the passing game? Should we flush it?
No, let's we can move on. We've gone 55 minutes.
Okay.
It's almost overtime.
Running game. The success in this game for them came under center.
Yes.
They were.
Now a lot of that.
I have it here.
52-yarder.
Season low, 9.1 success rate when running from shotgun.
Jeez.
In this game. That's the second worst of the Sirianni era.
What was worse?
I think there is it's the Niners game from 23.
Okay. It was bad. I mean, and so like there were a handful of plays where you could see like the defensive tackles knew like, oh, like Cam Jurgens is going to pull on this play. I'm going to shoot through this gap.
Yeah.
And because Jurgens isn't going to be there and I'm going to impact the running back in the backfield. That happened on the one empty QB draw. There was like a trap play where it's like, oh, they know what's coming. Like there were just a few where like they were dialed in.
Mm. Okay, but what worked a little bit in the under center game aside from the well schemed up fake tush push?
There was the 19-yarder very early.
They had some. You know what? This was one where like, man, they're having a lot of success over the left side.
Yep.
And then they just sort of went away from it.
So yeah. So
I know it's not that easy, but
sure, but.
I don't know.
On that first one, I didn't pull screen grabs for these, but first play, it's 19 yards, inside zone. Saquon presses this up to the line of scrimmage, gets the linebacker sheet inside, and bounces off. All the blocking was good. All right, 19 yards, off and running. Very next play, they come out in, I think it was a 12 personnel set. Either way, it was like Latu was in the game. And typically, when Latu's in the game, if he lines up to the right, they're going to run to the right. They went with a nice little change of pace where they put Latu on the right, almost like a fullback, and they ran just straight the weak side, going the opposite way, right into the you call it a bubble of the defense, where it's like basically if you just take a screen grab and you say like, okay, what is the weak point of the defense here? They ran right at that weak point. It was perfect. When it goes 10 yards, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm pretty sure it was the first time all season they've had 2 double-digit carries back-to-back on the same drive.
I looked it up. It was the second time all season that they had back-to-back first down runs.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So not even that. Yeah. So right. But yeah, I think when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, there's something here.
It was the Giants game, and I think those were both double digits as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, either way. Nothing.
A lot has changed.
Don't hang a banner on that one. Either way, then you get back to the rest of the run game the rest of the way. It was more of the same. It was like, there's a run where they run behind Calcaterra as the lead blocker at the point of attack against the defense or against the linebacker. Like, okay, so that's a loss. There's another one, Fred Johnson misses at the point of attack. There's another one where guys trip over each other. There's another one where Dickerson, who didn't have a great game, couldn't quite get to the reach block. It was here Jurgens misses a guy. It was a little bit of everything. So it was. There was frustration. I know there was the frustration with some, like, why did they stick with the run game so much? Why did they keep? I don't know. I think that the run game, they need the run game. They need it. And I don't know how much of it is fixable.
Lane's impending return
definitely helps.
Okay.
I mean, for sure helps. Does it fix everything? Probably not. But it definitely helps.
Lane make a bigger difference in pass pro or in run blocking?
Fred Johnson's a worse run blocker. Yeah, Fred Johnson is a worse run blocker, but Lane is also an elite pass protector. Yeah. So it's like, that's tough. But for what the Eagles need, I think you probably want his run blocking more right now because here's my feel on this offense right now.
I'm going to ask you what your feel is, Fran. And you're going to tell it to me.
Okay.
In overtime.
So, can I ask you a question?
Please.
The game goes to overtime last night.
Was I thinking to myself, the game's in overtime? 100%.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Were you?
It crossed my mind, yeah.
Of course. I think everybody who watches this show is thinking the same thing.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of in parentheses OT, everybody had in parentheses BOT.
Yeah, right. I think the best version of this offense for 2025 is a lot of the stuff we did at the top of the show. I think it is based on like vertical pass game, dial up shots, be aggressive, but I have reservations about whether or not they think they should stick to that based off the outcome of this game.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, though, but in order to do that, you also need you need to pair the run game with it.
Right.
And that's going to lead to it's not a dominant run game, as we know.
Yeah, all of this, in theory, if you were able to make some big plays in the passing game downfield, that's going to lighten up the boxes and that's going to help out the running game. But yeah, it's all theoretical. But it's also the Raiders. Come on.
I'm glad you didn't mention to BG my theory or my analogy from last night, right, about the Cardinals game in 23.
I did not mention that to him.
Very good. I thought about it when you guys were on with Cuz this morning. I was like, you guys,
he was making me feel so good.
Yeah, that's my to me that this Raiders game reminds me very much of the feeling going
Kenny Pickett
at Arizona game. knows the team.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Let's give the defense its flowers. After we've gone an hour into the show, because it was really an impressive performance.
Defense was awesome.
Let me ask you. Let me start with. We all know that the front was awesome.
Yeah.
In this game, what did you see from the back seven?
Incredibly sound just across the board. Like it was, watching those guys, and a lot of it was helped by the fact that the rush was so good. It also made it a little bit tricky, but honestly, like this, I don't want to say it's boring, but watching the defense when they are humming, the defense on the back end can be boring because it's just like, hey, we're going to just out execute you. We are just better running our coverages than you are running your concepts and trying to gain separation. Quinyon was awesome. DeJean was awesome. He's targeted a couple times downfield, like zero panic whatsoever. It was really good. Marcus Epps looked good. He was always where he needed to be.
Yeah.
Wasn't tested all that often. But again, the rush absolutely helped the coverage look good.
A couple plays late where they went with Michael Carter on the field instead of Marcus Epps. I'm curious what Vic will say about that.
Yeah, it's a good question.
But yeah, I thought Epps looked solid.
I thought so.
Jahad Campbell got in the mix a little bit more.
Yep.
See anything from him? I mean, listen, Nakobe remains such an unbelievable blitzer moving forward, but I think you saw in that big play, the 60-yarder on the opening drive to Vidal, where that is just Nakobe's speed.
Yeah, and then there were a couple plays. I want to say it was late third quarter before the fourth quarter. I think it might have been McConkey was running a shallow cross and Nakobe picked it up and he was just hauling, trying to keep up, and it was like, oh man, like if Herbert caught him, like it would have been a problem. But I think teams are going to continue to try and isolate Nakobe in those situations. They did try one with a running back out of the backfield at some point as well in the second half, and just couldn't hit. But I thought Campbell was solid. Yeah, he did it again. Like he's been fine. He's been for a rookie linebacker. Like I think he's done a fine job.
And Adoree Jackson's looking better.
Yeah, he had the coverage on the second snap of the game was essentially a PBU against Quentin Johnson. I thought he saw that really quick. He's always going to be hit and miss coming downhill, but I think in terms of coverage responsibility and discipline in zone coverage, all of that, the comfort in the scheme, I think has improved over the course of the year.
Okay, let's talk about the guys up front. The framing I had with Anthony this morning is, I think, relative to expectation, Jordan Davis is probably having the single best season on the team relative to what we expected heading into the year.
I'm just going through my head and thinking if that's if I've got anybody else to rebut.
Think about the guys who have been really good this year. Cooper DeJean.
But you
expected. Quinyon Mitchell. Expected.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
That's about it.
I think that's fair. Because even the guys who we're expecting big things from, like Ojimo, has been good, but not has
about as good.
That.
EJ, thinks that he called Donald. Obviously, he was just listening to me. But
I would say that's probably fair. And again, my expectations are okay, he's going to be a really good run defender and a steady presence, and he won't be a plus pass rusher on a week-to-week basis, but he can give you a little bit of something here and there. And last night he gave you something there.
Where are you at with Jalix Hunt?
Jalix is impactful against the pass. He definitely can get pushed around in the run game a little bit. Not a liability, but he's just okay against the run. I would say that it's like Tyler Steen in the run game.
Okay, that's
where
interesting.
it's like, okay, he's not a negative, but he's not like a positive either. And there aren't a lot of plays where, oh man, like watch him like squeeze this run lane and really set a hard edge. Like it's more just like, all right, like from effort. Sometimes it might pop here and there, and he does his job, but it's not always great. He got pinned inside on a couple plays by tackles. Like he can get out muscled a little bit. So I think that's an area where he can continue to grow.
Will he be at a point this offseason where the question is bulk up to try to get better against the run, but risk losing some effectiveness as a rusher?
Maybe. Yeah, he's a guy that because he is so athletic that all right, like he probably won't lose too much. But I think they'll probably continue to try and find that balance.
Okay. And then what did you think of BG inside? Season high 29 snaps, I believe.
Yeah.
Most of them inside.
I thought it was good. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're trying to fill those snaps without Jalen Carter. And so being able to put BG in that spot, I thought it made sense. It didn't stand out in a negative way at all, certainly. I thought it was solid.
Okay.
I mean, the defense as a whole, I mean, they were constantly around Herbert. Like, I know you're not like a pressure guy, but like the pressure rate was the best pressure rate of any team, any defense in a game this season. They were constantly around him, constantly. So, and some of it like you talked about like the difference between like Hurts as a scrambler and what we saw from Herbert last night. Herbert, like when he was going to go, like he went.
Yeah.
He just took off and went. And I think that part of it with Jalen is that there are times where he's like, he's rolling, and he's, am I going to throw it? Am I not? And then by the time he takes off, like, you're not getting those explosives. You're not getting like those successful plays. That's the thing about Herbert is like, if it wasn't there, he took off, man. And I was looking last night or at the Next Gen stats. Yeah, it was last night during the post game. We talked about the pressure rate number. He was pressured 28 times last night, Herbert. That's the third game this season where he's been pressured 28 times. No. The rest of the league has only had one of them.
Really?
Yeah. Like he's just been like under duress the entire year.
Well, because you hear the Raiders' offensive line is even worse. But
yeah, I mean the Raiders' line has not been good for most of the season. Yeah.
Super chat from Fresh Prince, who says, "How would you stork rank Makuba, Epps, and Brown
for one game?
Let's say for the rest of the season." I think we know who's number 3. We don't need to bury the guy.
Yeah. I mean, if we're taking everything into context, I would probably say Makuba.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just, he's got more juice in his legs now at this point. But I don't think it's a huge difference, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you get that veteran savvy from Epps.
Yeah.
I've always been a Marcus Epps guy. I like Marcus
Absolutely.
Epps. Yeah, I like Marcus Epps. So.
Likable guy. He doesn't make big mistakes.
Yeah.
I've been on Marcus Epps.
Yeah. Handsome fella.
I almost invented him. Will Madden. Turkeys of blame for the season so far. Offensive coaching, Jalen, Howie, and the lack of O-line investment. Let's lump in, because that's, I guess he's saying Howie and the lack of O-line investment. So maybe that's
one item.
That's a combined.
Yeah.
There's no comma there. There's no extra comma, so we're going to have to lump them in together. Because I do think the offensive line itself has been a big issue. But if we're pinning it on Howie, that's then where you're putting your turkeys.
50, 40, 10. 50.
Only 10 on the O-line with Howie?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's probably even high for me, personally. I don't think that's... They missed some shots in the draft. Like, they tried to trade down. They didn't think the Raiders were going to take 2 guys. Yeah. But even still, like, I don't know if...
Caleb Rogers.
Thank you. I don't know if Caleb Rogers is going to save the day, when if someone gets hurt, if Landon Dickerson gets hurt. So now he's had some good moments, from what I understand. Like, he's looked okay lately, but I'm talking about Caleb Rogers. But again, I don't think that he's saving the day. So my gut is... Let's go 55. 55.
Coaching.
Okay. 40 quarterback.
Wow.
5.
I think I would put more on the line. I think the line deserves a little bit more blame. However you want to blame that, but if we're just talking about the investment, then yes.
That's right. I thought that's what that was the investment.
If we're just saying the line itself, I would put it a little bit higher.
Yeah, if we're saying I would put that a little bit higher. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to? Can I reallocate if that's
the
case? Because to me, like,
just keep in mind, Lindsay's is eager to get out of here. She says she's making up reasons. She says the audio's down. She's like, I got to get out of here. I got to go home to Mr. Lindsay.
Yeah, right.
Celebrate.
I could have not come in at all today. I didn't let Julia do the show, and I came in.
Go ahead.
We'll move it on. Yeah, I think to me, I think that 30-30-30-10. 30-30. So split it.
What's the 10? Howie?
The 10. Howie. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Just take Howie away.
Take Howie away.
O-line, offensive coaching, Jalen.
Let's go 35 coaching, 30 O-line in general. Where does that take me? 35?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 35 Jalen. Yeah.
Wow. You went from
Jalen hasn't played well.
Well, I know, but you went from going 50 to 40, and then now it's 35-35.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to do this on the fly. I think that because I think that the coaching,
yeah, of course, Jalen
with the offensive line, you have to coach around the issues along the offensive line. So I lumped more of that with the coaching in the previous iteration of the exercise.
Okay.
I think that's right.
I also think the coaching, some of Jalen's Jalening for the bad is the coaching needs to get more out of him. And so it's hard, It's
it is hard. Yes.
Okay. All right. This was not as loopy as I was expecting. Too much football after an overtime loss, I would say. But that's okay. We'll have fun later this week. Thank you, Fran. Great stuff on the Snappies. Thank you, Lindsay, for making it look so good. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Mina Kimes will join us. EJ Smith will be here. I'll be here.
Oh, EJ's going to be here?
We haven't exactly got what free bird rule is going to be for tomorrow, but we'll figure it out.
The what?
We'll be here. Look it up. See you tomorrow. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.